What up, folks? Jack here. So, I don't know what keeps you awake at night. For me, it kind of varies. Let me explain. You have sites like here, ResearchGate, or the European Journal of Social Psychology. These are pretty good sites that help you find articles on any type of subject that you may want to learn about. For me, I was trying to learn something about the psychology of social media, and especially the sharing of information. Kind of getting myself a little bit informed on the whole debacle that's been going on since forever actually, with the misinformation and stuff, and how that actually happens. Well, it turns out that people like sharing positive stuff, things that makes them laugh, things that are genuinely positive, actually at a better rate than the negative stuff. But then, if it is something that is only just mildly positive, that stuff gets just cast aside, and then the negative stuff just goes rampant. We know that already from social media, that's just common knowledge. But this is something that can easily be transmitted over to the memes, and which is why today's episode, with this incredible weird cold open, we're going to be checking out the top 10 best memes in Warhammer 40k. Well, just top 10 memes. And this is a video by Major Kill. It's been a while since I checked one of his videos, so let's go.
G'day guys and gal. Everyone loves memes. They're so versatile and there's a gag out there for everyone. From stupid memes about cats to dark epic memes about depression and suicide. No one is left out. Topics are also heavily memed and Warhammer is no exception. There's even a subreddit purely dedicated to Warhammer memes and my god, it is great. A lot of people even say my channel is nothing but memes, so it seemed appropriate that I pick out the top 10 best memes the community has to offer. Originally this video was going to be top 5 best and worst memes, but I kid you not, I could only find 2 or 3 really bad memes, and the rest were pretty funny, so I had to change it. Some of these memes are perpetrated by Games Workshop themselves, and others are just plain retarded, so using my extensive knowledge of Warhammer combined with my near problematic obsession with memes, we've come up with the best. Obviously, like all forms of art, memes are subjective, so I expect some people to disagree with this list. My sense of humour can be incredibly childish, so some of the things that make me go tee-hee-hee might make you cringe and punch the nearest child. Before we get into it, and this is the last time you'll hear about it from me, but the official physical Major Kill Warhammer hentai calendar only has 24 hours left, or until they sell out, before it's gone forever. I know I said there was 100 left, but we sold those really quick, so I allowed for a few extra. The calendar contains 12 different Warhammer artworks from 12...
This is the point where I keep forgetting that Major Kill is in fact a man of culture.
This meme list is in order from 10 being and 1 being God tier. Lots of these memes and more can be found on the Grimdank subreddit, so be sure to check that out for the laughs. Let's get into it. The first meme on this list is actually a lot worse than the 10th best meme. I'm not a fan of it at all, but it's important to address it. The Ultramarines being Smurfs. I get it. Matt Ward got his grubby, biased neckbeard fingers deep into the buttholes of the Ultramarines and filled them with cheese. We got bad stories, silly rules, nonsense power scaling, and the worst of all, the end times. Not that the end times is related to the Ultramarines, but it gives context to the man who was, for lack of a better term, a spud. To explain this meme, people weren't happy with the Ultramarines and all their ultra wank, so to demean them, they began calling them Smurfs. Not because there was any significant correlation or references, it's just because they were blue and people are petty. It's a lazy meme, which is fine, until you see the damage it has done. Modern day Ultramarines get clapped regularly and have had years of rewrites by competent writers who have managed to make Gulliman and his sons once again relatable and enjoyable. The issue is that when new people come into the hobby and then they see the Ultramarines, they're like, nice man, those guys are pretty cool, I might give them a shot. And then all the salty neckbeards who look like Matt Ward despite hating him are like, you like the Smurfs? Wow, you fucking shill, kill yourself. Obviously that's a bit of an exaggeration, but the point I'm trying to make here is that the meme was never that good in the first place, and was only relevant quite a decent time ago, so let's just let it die. I'm not saying Ultra...
That's why I'm so happy that the first thing that I modeled, well, it was actually an Ultramarine. Damn it. No, it didn't quite follow the color scheme. Like, I based my first 3D model of a Space Marine on Captain Titus, because obviously that was the first Warhammer game that I ever touched Space Marines. So yeah, the influence was there. But now I've stuck with the space guys, as I like to call them, the the guys from Space Oakland, the Blood Ravens. I love them. I love them. They're not bound to anybody. Not at least, not really.
Marines should be unmemed. I'm just saying that they need a better one. Like, imagine if the salamanders were in their position and everyone called them cabbage because they were green. Do you know how autistic people would think you were if you did that?
I'll say
well, I mean, you play Warhammer, but come on.
Sure.
This next meme is still in my shit books, but it's so iconic that it needs to be talked about. At number 9, did Magnus do anything wrong? You know a meme is shit when people take it seriously. Sure, if people were like, ha ha ha, Magnus did nothing wrong as a joke, then sure, good meme. But I've seen people get in genuine debates and getting their nerd rage boners on about this.
That is true though. Like I remember from the box episode, first time that he got introduced into the TTS series, that was literally the only thing that was being discussed on the channel, or at least in the comment section. Mad.
Did Magnus have good intentions? Yes.
Sure.
Was he told time and time again that letting a tentacle hentai monster looking god tickle his big red nutsack was a bad idea? Yes.
Yeah.
Was he forbidden from using some Dark Age voodoo? Yes. Did he ignore Lehman's request to parley before the attack on Prospero? Yes. Did he confuse his sons as to what was going on, change his mind, and betray the Emperor, then ask said tentacle hentai monster for salvation? Yes. There was
And why in the world did he go to fight Lehman in melee combat? I'm just asking.
a number of things that happened that were very wrong, and a number of things that Big Brain Magnus could have done to prevent said wrong things. Memes are designed to make us laugh. As soon as you are debating a meme, you know it's not good. Getting away from the dark side of the memes, we have the darkest boys in the 8th best meme. The Salamanders and Vulcan being total bros, despite relishing in their use of war crime tier weaponry. Getting burnt to death is very unpleasant. Or so I've heard. I don't think too many people have offered their first-hand experience on it. Initially it seems like that they match the whole incineration vibe, until they are revealed as the most humane of all space marines. That's right, the big scary chocolate roid men who pleasure themselves to the screams of Aldari burning to death are the nicest guys you'll find. With Vulcan especially fond of giving hugs so nice and cuddly they'll put you in a wheelchair. I'm not sure if it was Games Workshop being ironic or them just realizing that at least one Legion of Marines should be likable, but they were either taking the piss or they were like, damn it, we forgot to have cuddly Marines. I know, all about the guys with the glowing red eyes that inflict death by fire.
The biggest boys.
Overall, a solid feel-good meme that has slashes of delicious irony. Whilst the Ultramarine meme is a pretty lazy way to belittle a Legion, the 7th best meme is the opposite. Calling the Space Wolves furries is hilarious. This is because A, due to a mistranslation between the Fenrisian language and High Gothic, all of the Space Wolves naming conventions involve the word wolf, either by directly saying it or just insinuating it. Wolf Lord, Wolf King, Wolfen,
and browsing the
Wolf
wiki
Scout,
must suck.
Lone Wolves, Wolf Guard, Wolf Blade. They fight in packs, and the list just continues. On their wiki, the word wolf or wolves is referenced over 2,000 times.
But
I wouldn't
Major
want to
Kill,
be an
it's their
editor.
Legion name. Obviously, it's going to get referenced a lot.
Shut your stupid inbred mouth, Timmy, before I put you in a wolf suit and drop you off at Fenris. The Ultramarines wiki only has less than half that number for the word Ultra.
At least.
It's impressive that a single meme has dragged legendary space Vikings down into the cesspits of hell.
Jeez.
Being considered a furry is worse than being considered a Nazi. To the one lady watching this video,
I'm always wondering, like, in some way I can appreciate the work that furry does. Yeah, I know, I just said that. Like, look at this type of art. It's beautiful. I couldn't draw like this if I wanted to. I'm not good at drawing mechanical parts. That's why I do 3D rendering instead. But this is awesome. And then, of course, they go and add the one little detail that it has to be that.
if you had to your left a blonde guy who seemed nice but occasionally said some ooga booga about the return of the Fourth Reich, and then to your right you had a guy who said he dressed up as a rabbit and fucks people in it, who would you bang? Trick question, the answer is neither, but I'm sure you see the point of making
low
here.
key.
Imagine if Lehman Russ
Low
came
key
back as a
savage
werewolf
there.
instead of Space Odin. It would be the nail in the
There
coffin
wasn't really
for sure.
anything low key about
Overall,
that.
a solid meme that Games Workshop hasn't done much to dissuade. On to number 6, we have a faction that seemed to be created purely for the memes, and it just kind of evolved from there. The Orcs. or more specifically, the Orcs' ability to manifest
the
reality
Green
bending
Lanterns.
physics if enough of them believe in something. I like the Orcs. They're a simple people who desire one thing: endless war and battle. Now, in most circumstances, this would make them out to be horrifically evil creatures, and whilst objectively, yes, they suck for anyone who isn't an Orc, actually they suck for Orcs as well, but the reality is they don't ruin everyone's day out of malicious intent. They just see it as a big game and don't realise no one else wants to play. To compound on this malicious childlike mentality, if enough Orcs believe in something, it becomes real. Orcs believe red makes you go faster, so they paint their vehicles that colour. Blue makes you lucky, probably as a result of them watching what Matt Ward did to the Ultramarines. Yellow makes things more explosive, so they paint their rockets yellow, and so on. Whilst in canon, this collective psychic power has limits, and can't just be like, I believe I am now a god, so I'm now a god. The memes say otherwise, however, ranging from the meme that Yarrick is so overpowered for a human because the Orcs believe he's a legendary warrior, all the way to tech priests getting upset that they have to rub toasters together seductively to get an engine to turn on, whilst the mech boy can headbutt a piece of metal for an hour and turn it into an attack moon. No list would be complete without these boys, and their memes never fail to make me crack a smile. Coming off the Orcs, we have the 5th best meme in Warhammer, the Mechanicas not knowing what the fuck is going on and just keep praying and throwing oil on shit, hoping it'll turn on and kill some bitches, or just, increase the voltage to the car batteries they all have hooked up to their scrotums. Just like stereotypes, the best memes are the ones that are laced with truth, and whilst tech priests aren't totally retarded and create and build things, everything cool that comes out of them is because it was from the dark age of technology, or they discovered a blueprint.
When playing Mechanicas, that's literally one of the weirdest things that happen. Like, you're there just speaking in binaries, yet you keep on talking about the faith in the machine and everything. Like, you cannot comprehend the emotions that you're feeling. Yet still, hey, how about this little piece of what may look like a fragment of an STC? We have to go and steal it. But the Catan is their stuff. Ours now. Like, geez. The Mechanicas are so weird, but they make cool stuff. And they also look dope. I mean, they're like future Rick Sanchez's, literally. Yeah. With a bit more robotic sexual undertone, but yeah, I think that fits.
Or they stole it from a Xeno and pretended they made it to try and hide their own xenophobic hypocrisy, or it was made by Cole. Because of this, the way they often get cool stuff to work is by praying. Yes, the faction of the Imperium that replaces their bodies with metal, talks in binary, and should be totally logical and without superstition, rub sacred oil and technology to make it run better. Like, we give shit to the Orcs for painting stuff red to make it go faster, but at least they don't jizz on machine spirits to keep them happy. This meme seemed to originate from text-to-speech, like most Warhammer memes, to be honest. When the Mechanicus installed the Emperor's text-to-speech device, they were paid in toasters that they could slide their mechanical slithery snakes in and climax to whenever they got the burning release of a ting! That last part was just added in by me, but I assume that's what would happen. I mean, that's what I would do if I was a religious cyborg. Overall, solid meme that I even immortalized in one of my calendar images for the Magical Hentai calendar, so just another reason to pick one up. On to number 4. Gene stealers are supposed to be horrible, insidious creatures who infiltrate worlds, reproduce on them, and then welcome their star gods from the void, aka get eaten by Tyranids. So it's pretty funny to think about how they would even go about this. As each generation passes, the gene stealers become less subtle. They go from people who want to fuck a lot to spread their seed, to bold cunts with 4 arms. They often disguise their suddenly frantic worship of the star gods as the worship of the Emperor, except the statues they erect for him look a little bit suspicious. I can imagine a dude who's down on his luck and a partially mutated gene stealer approaches him for a shag. Sure, she has a weird bump on her head, and sure, her nails and teeth look kinda sharp, but a root's a root. It wouldn't surprise me if the gene stealer DNA actually was engineered to make you more fuckable.
No.
Like, imagine if a gene stealer arrives on a planet, but he's ugly as and can't reproduce. There goes your Tyranid invasion. The meme here is just the mental image of something that is horrifying on paper, but in practice could end up being quite silly, as it seems kinda obvious when gene stealers are a thing on your planet. Getting to the juicy end, at number 3, we have the Dark Angel's questionable status as a traitor legion. When I first heard about this meme, I clumped it in with the category of Ultramarines being Smurfs, aka...
Oh, the party of rejected. I love them so much. They're like the embodiment of this whole Catholic Church self-harm thing. What is it called? I can't remember the terminology for that. But anyways, I think you get my point. Like, they are so mad over the fact that somebody at some point, which I know it is bad, but they just want to erase any traces of anybody ever having partaken in betrayal in their ranks. Like, they are super honorable, I can respect that, but jeez guys, chill.
Shit memes. But then I looked into the Dark Angels lore more, and by God, Games Workshop have done their best to make this meme a reality. The Dark Angels could have seemingly beaten Chaos, the Tyranids, and everyone in between by now if they stopped chasing the Fallen. They bombed Fenris, abandoned allies on multiple occasions, sent chapters into the Eye of Terror on suicide missions, bombed their own fortress monastery to cover up said suicide missions, killed an Inquisitor who found out the truth, and even considered killing the revived Gullyman when they thought that he might have found out about the Fallen. Even though he wouldn't actually give two shits about it. They punished themselves so hard for something that wasn't even their fault. Like the emos call themselves the Unforgiven. The damage they've done to themselves and the wider Imperium is 10 times more damage than the Fallen will ever do. This meme gets such a high spot on the list because it isn't an exaggeration or a joke on something, it's literally a completely canon thing that Games Workshop have come up with. From a meme standpoint, it's hilarious. From a canon standpoint, it's infuriating to see such a noble and powerful chapter act like total dumbasses all the time.
Could you imagine something funny? Like a scenario where the Dark Angels just find the undeniable proof of where they could find all the Fallen, like a blueprint, something, I don't know, some sort of tracker that could pinpoint any Fallen that ever, well, fell. And then the Emperor's sons come in there, they're like, yoink, this is ours now. They will raise the entire galaxy to defeat them. Like, literally, the only thing that you need to do to, for the Imperium to defeat anything, just make a little bit of a rumor go about, and those Tyranids, they know about the Fallen. Bait them to do their job. I mean, geez, that's real. Pull
Lucky
yourself
number 2,
together.
we have the Tau's inability to melee. Now the Tau have a lot of memes. They have vaginas on their head. They have weeby Gundams. They are space Hindu communists. But I wanted to stick with one. Now the inability to melee might seem like a weak option, but it's a great metaphor for the
The civilization Gandhi thing where he nukes an entire civilization. Yeah, that's the Tau.
overall meme status. In a galaxy 40,000 years in the future, where firepower is so overwhelming that anyone who pokes their head over a trench should instantly eat a nuke, the main form of combat is melee. The Tau are a bastion of what a future society would probably look like.
Yeah.
Efficient energy-based weaponry, use of drones, and trying to avoid getting cut in half by jacked up roid men. So by Games Workshop making it so the Tau are the odd ones out by being the most realistic representation of a star-spanning empire, they are confirming and expressing how insanely ridiculous the 40k universe really is. Another indicator that this is a good meme is the effort that goes into it. I've seen at least 3 animations for Tau Melee that crack me up. I'll play 2 of them now for you. These were made by Dragon Saint and the legendary Eliphas. On to number 1, we... My god, it's Sly Marbo. The thing I really like about Warhammer memes is that some of the best ones were made by Games Workshop, and Sly is the peak example of that. Sly, Sylvester, and Marbo, Rambo, is the epitome of a company having a bit of fun and the ultimate comeback to dickheads like Mr. Mohawk who jerk off to grim darkness with sandpaper. He's fun, he's silly, and his old model looks absolutely retarded, which actually serves to make it better overall. This man has single-handedly won wars, slain dozens of Chaos Astartes, massacred Tyranids for sport, and will likely be the guy who saves the Imperium. If anything, the stories of this guy are watered down. Described as incredibly mentally disturbed, this lone wolf memes his way through the enemies of the Imperium, kicking ass and taking heads. He's also seemingly immortal, as he's been around for a very long time. He's like what would happen if you combine Rambo with Chuck Norris and sprinkled in a little bit of John Wick. A recipe for success. And that doesn't...
Every time that Dante goes, I'm so tired of this. I've been at this for 1,000 years. Dear Sanguinius, please, I don't want to fulfill your prophecy. Then he just hears that loud screaming. Fine, I get it. I'll do my job. Okay, that was good. That's pretty good. But you know what's even better? As soon as the Fast and Furious franchise left the whole concept of, do we even care about cars anymore? Let's just make a body cop action movie. Let's introduce The Rock. As soon as that came in, you know, when this man, I enjoy him, he's charismatic, but as soon as he joins into something, you know that the ridiculousness starts. But F9 is so redonkulous that Dominic Toretto has become a whole new hell of a meme. A friend of mine has been sending me some of these memes on Instagram, and they're killing me, man. Like, check this one out. No, Dom, the Chaos Gods are too strong. They can easily erase you with a single thought. Oh man, I can't do Vin Diesel's growl. He's too... that's throat cancer, man. Even Batman can't even go that deep. There's one thing they can't erase, Gilliman. And then Chaos comes there, and his charger, and his family. God, I can't even take that seriously. It's so dumb. It's so bloody dumb. But yeah, this is essentially that, and I'ma make one for my own for the thumbnail. Yeah. Or just share it to you guys. But guys, that was a short video of... But guys, that was a short video of the... But guys, that was 10... But guys, those were the top 10 Warhammer 40k memes. I know, these may be a bit old news for you, but hopefully some of these still made you laugh. So, with that said though, I wish you a wonderful day, and I see you guys next time. Bye.